I am here. Hello. Hello, Dolph.
Hey,
It's my
how's it
first
going?
Look at that. Look at that fucking shirt. Geek who used to drink. I love that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. Oh, I earned it. So there you go.
Who didn't? Who didn't? Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Well, welcome aboard the train wreck that is the Limbo podcast.
I'll fit right in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good. So how's it going tonight? How's Christmas shaping up? What's happening, man?
Sure. They didn't stop it from coming. There's
They tried.
their best efforts. It did not stop the sleigh from coming. Yeah. Well, I mean, 2020. What?
2020.
At the same time, like, I don't know. It's absolutely been the best and the worst of times. I mean, it's really flippant for me to even say that. I've, there's been so much suffering, but there's also been, I can't acknowledge this year without acknowledging that some really cool stuff has happened in my life as well. So, right. It's in that spirit that I approach Christmas. I'm really grateful for what and who I have in my life.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. How about you, man? How's it going up there?
Well, it's going, dude. It's going going to hell in a handbasket pretty quick.
Sure.
So we'll see. We're not allowed to have Christmas. At least not with.
Are you guys? Oh, did you guys go to war too?
Yeah, we went to war.
Yeah, war on Christmas.
This is wartime. Yeah.
Yeah, war on Christmas, dude.
It's a war on Christmas. I said, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, don't stop my religion. They're taking the Christ of Christmas all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man. So I've been growing up in that kind of a culture war my whole life.
Have you?
Okay. It's my father, rest him, was a Southern Baptist preacher.
Holy crap.
So yeah, it was all in. And I was in that until I was about 23 or so. So it took me a while to figure out that, oh yeah, I can't actually make this denomination of millions of people turn into something more like I wish it were. It's changing me more than I'm changing it, and I got to get out of here.
Good for you, honestly.
Yeah, I had help. It was
good. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. It's not crazy. So whatever. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying.
No, man.
That was fucking crazy. Yeah.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
Put it that way. What's crazy is the cognitive dissonance of what people claim to stand for and then support that's antithetical there too. No, what can you say about that? Including great orange globs of greasy, grimy gopher guts that have been running this country for.
Gopher guts, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the biggest piece of shit on the fucking planet. I hated that guy.
I mean, yeah. Well, he's still. There are still death throes.
What's he doing now? Is he still trying to last ditch effort of
Yeah. And I know some of us Yanks have been over this. So bear with while we have to explain the crap that is our peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah.
But so as we're taping this, it's December 23rd.
That's right.
And we, so there have at least been some overtures toward actually acknowledging that America voted the way it voted, and that even our antiquated system that's designed to give land more power than humans voted this way. So, Biden's actually the president-elect. there is a usually pure formality phase where the electoral college thing delivers the ballots to Congress for formal recognition. Right.
It's like ceremonial, like it's just like here's your freedom.
Yeah, going back to the people said this, whatever. Here's the keys to the company Whirlpool, and so the usually it's a pure formality. The losing party will sometimes throw some kind of a pro forma objection up in Congress just to be on the record as saying we don't like this and we're mad. But it's a gesture, it's a sop to the faithful, and whatever. It's usually not considered anything to be taken seriously.
Right.
But of course, when there's a lunatic about to lose power who doesn't respect the way things go. I'm sorry, I'm revealing my own opinions.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
I'll be lucky to be in limbo when we're done.
I promise not to cancel you, Dolph.
So usually this is all just a formality and whatever, but there's now no guarantee that the what's going to happen in the Senate is going to be if somebody in both houses of Congress objects, but we have both a House representative and a senator objecting to the results of the Electoral College, it goes to a floor vote to where each sitting senator is going to have to be on the record saying up or down whether they vote for or against the results of the Electoral College. And if the Senate were to do that, then the House would have to do that in response. So it will never survive the House because there are more Democrats than Republicans over there. So in the worst case, this is not going to stand, but it's going to be a whole lot of upset and a whole lot more fuel for the fire of not considering our elections legitimate when they manifestly are legitimate. So you've got factions in Trump's party, some not wanting to force every single senator to go on the record saying they're backing Trump against the Constitution or backing the Constitution against Trump because
right.
It's a lose-lose. So the party's trying to save face by saying, could you just not raise these objections? Because if you do that, then it's going to screw over people who are likely to maybe lose their hometown race if they have to go on the record this way or not.
Yeah.
What this comes down to in the end, as it so often does, is one dumbass in Alabama. In this case, that dumbass is a recently elected U.S. Senator named Tommy Tuberville, who
of course it is. Yeah.
Of course it is. Not only does his name mean that it comes from the land of underground root vegetables, nightshades at that. He's his claim to fame in getting the senatorial election is he was the head football coach for Auburn University. That's why he hasn't accomplished anything else in his life except be a multi-millionaire football coach.
I mean, I'm a War Eagle fan like the rest of the people, or Tigers, or whatever the hell they are.
Sure.
I like
they're
Auburn.
both, which is
right. Tigers was basketball.
Their official. Tigers. Yeah, it goes like the Auburn Tigers is the name of all of their athletic teams.
Yeah.
But War Eagle is their chant.
Okay. Well, there you go. But I'm not completely fucked. I am an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, I'll say that. But that's beside
right on. So, you shouldn't be for the guy either.
Screw him. He's an idiot. That's right.
So, because and my mom's family is from rural northern Alabama near Muscle Shoals.
Okay.
So this guy uh, elected purely because people love him because he's a football coach and
Right.
because he's vociferously all in for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So all you need for this whole charade of objections to come before the Senate floor is one House representative, and that's going to happen.
Okay.
And one senator to back him. If no senator backs the House resolution, it dies on the Senate floor, and everybody goes home. And Tuberville's going to be the guy, most likely. He will not care what the rank and file of the Republican Party want to do. He owes Trump for his Senate seat, and Alabama will not support him if he doesn't, go down fighting at minimum. And so it all boils down to one Alabama idiot, as so many things in the history of our country have done.
That is so fucking depressing. How the one
so he will have lost by the end of this in more ways than anybody else has lost.
Just and you think that I mean, I'm a sore loser too, and I get that. But you think that you'd want to leave with a shred of any kind of fucking dignity. I respect. I held the highest office of power in the world. I can just, I didn't get it by type thing, not just fuck you. You're not getting rid of me that easy.
Totally that. And he, first of all, he thinks that with his diet and lifestyle, he's going to live another 4 years. But were he to, he could run again if they don't overturn the election. You can have 2 terms, whether they're consecutive or not. And that's happened once before. There's been one U.S. president, Grover Cleveland, who served, and there was a guy between him, and then he
served again. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's nobody with the, dare I say, star power of Donald Trump in the Republican Party, because they're all ghouls, and he hoards all the makeup for 2024. So he's their best hope for taking it back from Biden or President Harris, God forbid, because I don't want Biden to die, not because I think anything ill of Harris. So that's where we're at, man. And so that Scheisse Show happens January 6th.
January 6th, okay.
And if we get through all of that, then that's the 2-week mark before Biden takes the oath at the
inauguration. So the inauguration is like the 50th?
It's the 20th. It's always
20th. Yeah. It's always the 20th.
Which, yeah, it's the 50th in 2020 time, but it's the 20th in regular calendar. So
that's funny. Jesus.
Yeah.
2020 time is right. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's.
I was on here earlier talking before I came on here, and I was reminded that it's been 9 months so far. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seems like 3 years and also 4 months at the same time.
Yeah. Time is
fucked.
It's just, it's useless. And maybe it always was, but it's really useless, right? Yeah, marking when this started actually relates to my shirt. So Geek Who Used to Drink is it's a play on the Geeks Who Drink franchise of trivia.
Okay.
So I have a big group of friends nationwide who play trivia a lot, many of whom I've met because we were fellow contestants on Jeopardy. I was a contestant on Jeopardy.
Oh, big deal.
And so Geeks Who Drink, blah, blah, blah. When I decided to get sober, getting back out there and mixing among my friends felt a little funny. I wasn't entirely confident and all of that. And so the idea just came to me. It's like, well, okay, this is a Geeks Who Drink event, and I'm not going to drink, but I'm a geek who used to drink. So there you go. And that was great. Well, this Geeks Who Drink company, franchisee of trivia events, hosted a annual event called Geek Bowl. So thousands, literally, of us descend on a city to do a big trivia competition and basically have a con, for a few weeks and a few outings. It was in Chicago this year, which I'm 20 miles south of downtown. So they came to my backyard. I'd be rude not to go. Had a great time. Well, this event was mid-March, and it culminated in the big trivia show, which included musical interludes by They Might Be Giants, which was a blast. I'd never got to see them before, so it was really, really fun.
That's cool.
They announced that whole evening as, "Welcome to the last public gathering ever." Ha ha ha. We're all laughing. Ha ha. 4 days later.
It was that.
Yeah, no shit. It's lockdown time. You ain't going nowhere.
Oh my God.
So, we managed to get all our last hugs, meeting of strangers, sharing of food, all those sorts of maskless things, was the event where, that related to this shirt. So it has that significance for me too.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's wild.
So, yeah. And so that's same here. I mean, St. Patrick's Day was a couple of days after, and in Chicago, as you know, is one of those cities that suddenly decides it's an Irish city. And it's convenient too. So
everybody's Irish now. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So they still dyed the river green like they always did. They dyed the Chicago River green, but but there were still fools packing bars, but it was just the very first part of the lockdown period. That's what it was like here.
Jesus. Yeah, that's fucked.
Because people didn't stick to it, of course, then.
Well, yeah.
We are too.
That went right to hell, and now here we are still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think you're trying to think about the last time you were out being the last time you were out. Or like in a public setting, or
Right?
That's fucked.
Oh my God. I mean, and all that while, like, when the lockdown announcement came, my album Rebuilding Permit,
yeah,
was being pressed at a CD plant in California. It would have been done. We completed recording on it in December. We got the art done in January, February. It had been mastered. It was off to the plant. And right up until lockdown was announced, you don't know if it's really real or not. Like, what's really going to happen? Like, this is a serious disease. Like, if you pay attention to the world, and I do, but you don't know what it's going to really look like. And so we had like a gut check that we had to do, Rex and Christina and me, about the record. Because a lot of people decided that it didn't make sense to put out their 2020 things, at least right at the original dates. Like, the things didn't make sense if they couldn't tour,
right.
And for me, the decision was, first of all, horse is out the gate. Like, the CDs are made. I'm not gonna sit here with
a fucking stack of CDs
with the entire
boxes.
I still have a stack of them, but it's not going to be that big.
Yeah.
I can't. It's happening, so it needs to happen.
Yeah.
But also it's a set of songs that really is about resilience and dealing with loss and feeling less than, and finding your way out of that, and fighting your way out of that, and finding community. And I was like, well, that might work.
Yeah.
Might fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we took it that way, and I think that's translated. People have responded to it that way. So that's the lemonade, I guess.
Just eliminate. I love it. Yeah, it's a good album for sure. I'm glad you went ahead with it. But that is
Thanks,
I
man.
could see that being the fucking gut check moment, right? Because
Yeah. What do you
that's the
do?
formula. You got your CDs. You go. You support it by playing shows. Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been like a live, like for some people that was a much harder decision than it was for me because
Mhm.
uh my plan, I hadn't really done a ton of live work since like the 90s, since I was like in my early 20s. I had regular gigs back then, but then had been very sporadic ever since. Um, and so I was just in the process of starting to convene rehearsals with Jim, the drummer on that album, who's another local guy, who's a coworker of mine actually.
Mhm.
Um, he had found a bass player, and we were about to start going in and rehearsing for some shows. When it was announced, it's like, well, nope. And there that has sat. So um, comparatively, though, there were people with entire book tours, and some um, even like out of the country like plans. I know Stephen Wilson from Plastic Soul was planning to do another trek to the UK,
Mhm.
and you know, when are they going to get to do that again?
Well, yeah,
And I think vice versa.
yeah,
People were planning to come to the States, and
no
you know,
dice.
nobody wants to be here. You know, maybe least of all. So I mean, that's um, it affected me a bit, but it really impacted um, a lot of people more heavily than me. So I mean, I
Mhm.
respect that, and it's tough, but we need it. You know, we need the music. You know,
That's just it.
yeah,
It's not. And I guess a lot of people think or sit around and think, well, oh, now there's a pandemic, so all these guys that have their fucking home recording studios are just going to go nuts and go to town writing all this shit, putting stuff out left and right. It's like, yeah, but they're still going through the same stress as everybody else.
yeah,
And a lot of
yeah,
musicians, aren't, they're not just fucking puppets. They can't just be like, oh, just fucking, I'm happy, so I'll just write a song right now. It's not
yeah,
that easy. It's not when you're worried about where your money's coming from, where you can't, especially like the touring guys that tour for a living. It's like, well, now you can't do that. So how do you make your fucking, if that's the way that you're supporting your family, the last thing you're going to want to try to do is sit there with your 4-track and put out a new album if you can't tour to
yeah,
support it, right?
yeah.
So I don't know.
It's and that's where it really reveals a lot about the different kinds the different kinds of processes different kinds of artists go through. I mean, it um something really similar happened for me uh that happened for Spy Genius.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they released Man on the Sea, this
Fucking brilliant album.
incredible double
Brilliant album.
record.
Yeah.
And Peter Watts is a pretty prolific writer. Like he tends to write quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that one cleared sort of a backlog
It's
of
okay.
of of material. Like, so usually, like, he finished when they finished Pacifier, they had, some of these songs had already been written, yet they just didn't fit the shape of that record. And so eventually he had a small chunk, and there was a through line, and it sort of wound its way through. And he would talk about the kind of journey that would go on. But it sort of cleared the decks, and that's what they were able to do in these first few months of um, lockdown. But that's a really tight knit group of four who build their arrangements out a lot in rehearsal. And so it's been very hard for them, and a lot of the Armoires are very similar in that way. Very challenging without being able to get in the room, because so much is built out of the chemistry of what
Being
one member
together
of a
and
band
playing. Yeah.
hears the other guy do, and the reaction to it. So it's hard in that way for them. And then you've got, in the very far other extreme, someone like Anton Barbeau, who has two bands and works alone, and just relentlessly seems to see every way of doing things as just another new way of doing things, and is constantly generating ideas, you know. And so where I got stuck is, you know, Rebuilding Permit, for example, was made in isolation in a style that would have suited 2020 very well. We didn't cut a single note working in the same room as each other at any time. My drummer is in the area, but he's 30 miles away from me. And we didn't have, it happened that we didn't play in the same room at all. He just took tempo markings, and he found a feel and went with it and did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
The engineer and co-producer of that record, Milk Arnold, is in Arizona. He's in Mesa, Arizona. And he, apart from just coming to see me for an afternoon socially, while he was in the Midwest, we didn't do a thing in the same room for the whole record. So you would think then that I could very easily just build on that and make new material out of it, but I was blocked like damn. You know, I couldn't, too many things were happening for me to describe them, you know.
Right.
If the Wordsworth quote is that poetry is, you know, emotion recollected in tranquility, well, there's no goddamn tranquility. There's just emotion. So, you know, we've already had one John Lennon Plastic Ono band. There's no reason to make another one. I can't just scream that everything is pain, no matter how I might feel it at a given time. I need a little space from it.
Yeah.
And so the lovely thing that happened was Nick Bertling, if you know him from Bertling Noise Laboratories, or as a producer, an engineer, and drummer in particular, who's worked on Gretchen's Wheel records, who's done a lot with Andy Bopp, and there's been several Bertling Noise Laboratories albums. He reached out, and he had an album this year called Green Meadows Sketchbook. And we sort of traded notes, and we're like, we're each hearing things that we like. And he approached me about working on something together, maybe a single or something. Then in July, I said, you know, I think what I'd like to do this year, because new ideas aren't coming for writing, is there's some old songs of mine that have been recorded, but they were recorded very lo-fi, just me putting together whatever sounds I could do. There's a few of those songs over the course of, say, 9 albums or whatever. There may be enough to where we could work up new arrangements of them, and maybe that could be the next record if the results are good. What do you think? And he's in for it. So that is finished and will be coming in February on Big Star.
That's exciting.
We will have a single in January coming out, so announcements will go out soon, but January 22nd will be the single. The song is called Now I Am a Man.
Okay.
And the album will come on February 20th. It is called This Is Dolph Chaney. Is the idea is just sort of a reset and you know, establishing this group of songs as representative of a period of 17 years worth of writing from when I was 18 until it was 35. So yeah, that's what's next. And this, by the way, that's the first time I've stated the actual days of release anywhere. So
there you go. I appreciate it. Take that, suckers.
That's right. That's right.
That's some exclusive shit. There you go.
Do the limbo rock, my friend.
Yeah.
It's all happening. So yeah, that's Fast and Furious now. Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
yeah, I'm very excited. Very
No
excited.
doubt.
Nick is credited as full producer on this one, and
Nice.
for
He
good
does
reason.
good work.
He really does, and um, what he told me was he really wanted to see what it would be like to just sort of let me do just the stuff that I really excel the most at and leave all of the other things that I try to keep plate spinning about usually to him to manage. So that was really a fun way to work because he's got the attention to detail that I don't have. He's got the patience that I don't have. He has the attuned engineer's ears that I just don't have. I don't hear like I don't have hearing problems or anything like that.
Right,
But I don't mentally have the
those,
focus.
I don't know how those engineers
It's
do that
crazy.
shit. That's crazy. They feel like
I
said
can
I trained my ears. It's like, how the fuck? I have like ham hocks for ears. Like I hear fucking shit.
yeah. It's yeah, it sounds good, man. I don't know.
That's exactly. It's
Sure.
like, yes, oh no, your snare's too high here. It's like, no, it's not.
I
Too low,
I
probably.
like it.
Whatever. It sounds good though.
Yeah,
Like,
just run it through the
ever
and
hear?
then
I love
they'll
hearing
then
stuff. I love hearing stuff that hasn't been engineered, and then you like take the same song and have it like after the treatment and before the treatment, and it's like, oh,
yeah, and
I
exactly, and
see.
it's better.
Then you can hear
You
it's like, oh, I know
no
that.
damn idea why, and that's me. I mean, I certainly I at least now from working with guys like him, I do know when it's wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't know what to do about it. So that's progress.
That's progress.
It's like, yeah,
That's progress.
this is bad, and I don't know why, and help.
Yeah.
And
Please. Yeah.
in 2 minutes, they know exactly what rookie ass mistake I made during tracking, and it'll be all good.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. I mean,
That's good.
so that's just super super exciting for me. I think it's instant. I mean, of course, I gave myself, since the oldest song is from 1991, I have a 29-year head start in whether the songs are any good or not. So that helps a lot. If people, I whittled down from 9 albums to one, and it's not just necessarily all hits or approachable
Right.
things. It's all relative anyway, but it's not necessarily all things that are super direct like an anthology might be. There's some odd ducks in this mix too, but they're just things that hung well together,
Right.
and that Nick saw a way in on them. So it's just exciting to be in that space and to hear these with really new approaches in some
It's
cases.
like hearing them for the first time.
It really is. And some songs I didn't even think that I was that confident in anymore. And he's like, no, I'm gonna fight for this one, and here's why. And now I know why, because he was hearing something that could be that I hadn't heard yet. So I mean, that's just super rad. I'm really grateful to Nick, and we have some guests on it.
Okay.
I mentioned Gretchen's Wheel. Lindsay Murray is singing with me on one track. She's actually singing backing vocals on the single on Now I Am a Man that's coming out. Knocked it out in a day, like the super talented person that she is. And I also have backing vocals from Kevin and Scott Robertson from the Vapor Trails on one track. So they brought the Scotland energy to one of the songs. So that was fun to just shoot tracks across the pond, and in a few days,
That's
just get
dope.
this this lovely Aberdeen Motown kind of backing
That's
vocal
fucking cool.
work. It'd be
I'm
really,
excited.
yeah. It's
I'm
I,
excited.
I can't wait to get it to folks.
Holy shit.
So again, it's off at the plant. You know, there's all there somewhere in somewhere near Burbank. They are making little shiny round things right now
Just
that
building it for you.
have my mug on it, and soon
That's
I
awesome.
will have a few of them, and soon
You'll
I'm
have a
sure you will have one, and we'll get them all.
Wow, Rex and Christina have sure been very, very generous and kind to me with like all the, and you know, and you talk about, we're talking about music, how important music is, especially during the pandemic. And you know, I listen to everything. I'm a musician myself. I record dark shit. It's fine, but I just needed something else
Yeah,
to get me
I
out
know
of
what
the
you mean.
fucking, you know, out of the same rut. You know, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
listen to this and this. And I kind of stay with that, like the new metal or some hip hop and like, you know, folk, whatever. I'll listen to fucking anything if it's good, anything.
Hmm.
But when, but Rex and Christina, I don't even know how they fucking got my email address. But I guess you have a podcast, people find you. And yeah, they emailed me one day and they said, we're sending out CDs if you want of, it was the seventh wave at the time, I believe.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
send out
That
physical
sounds right for the
CDs if you
timing.
want. Yeah. And I said, you know, I emailed them back. I said, fuck yeah. Like, I'll take a CD. I used to love getting those like sampler CDs. Hell yeah. I miss that shit. Totally. Let's do that. You know,
Yeah.
and they sent me that. But like a week after, I got probably 10 other CDs that they sent out because I said I liked it. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is awesome. You
It's
know,
so them.
and then
Yeah.
after that they sent me, I think they sent me it had to be four, I think four vinyls. I apologize if I'm wrong. But like four,
Hmm.
I got the Spy Genius, I got the Brother
Nice.
Steve, I got
So good. Yeah.
fantastic. Both those are fantastic. And another fuck, I don't want to reach over for that, but I got like two other ones, I think.
Yeah.
So and Blake Jones sent me one. He's awesome. Love Blake Jones.
Love Blake. God,
Um,
what a good dude as well. Just
fuck,
so creative
so
and
cool.
um I loved what he did this year because he the trike shop stuff is so
Fantastic.
fun and smart and with that art edge
Mm-hmm.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then to do the homebound
The Homebound session or Homebound EP or
tapes
whatever. Yeah, the Homebound tapes.
this year, I was really I was really impressed, and it was fun to hear him in that mode. And the sense of humor is still obviously really there, but to hear him do some rootsy stuff,
Yeah.
it's what I identify. The first thing I heard is like, oh, Blake sounds like John Hyatt, just with a different thing going on
Mm-hmm.
lyrically. But there's a vocal thing that I really heard in the song Homebound.
I love that song.
Um,
That's my favorite song
so
on that.
good.
Yeah.
You know, he and
Two
Rex
guys, or
wrote
was it
something.
two or three guys in a Jeep? That one was funny too. Two or three.
Three jerks in a
Three
Jeep,
jerks in a
which
Jeep. Yeah.
I love. It's so perfect. And yeah. So just to hear that, hear him kind of test himself a little bit that way was something uh, coming from a different angle than he usually does with the trike shop. Yeah, no, I think I might now be an official Big Stir completist. I every time I had a little extra, basically my restaurant money, because I didn't dine out for 6 months.
What buying?
Went to like, oh yeah, I only have the one plastic soul. I know he's got like three others. Let me get those. Oh yeah, I know Michael Simmons is still selling vinyl on the from the Sparkle Jets. Let me just get all of that.
Just grab it. Yeah.
So yeah, so it, it's it's a joy. It's a get to, and I mean, I know Rex talked about this in your chat with him, but I mean, he and I still have not met in person, of course.
See, that's why I assumed that you were in the same fucking. I thought you were in Cali
Yeah,
with them because you know
nah,
that's funny.
nah. We were, um, our friendship is it all originated on the net, and we owe loving Robin Hitchcock to it. It's a fan group for people who liked him, and that's where um, we got into Anton Barbeau's orbit as well back in those days, and Paula Carino, and Matt Sewell, who leads Charms Against the Evil Eye, which is also Anton's band Thrust. It's all just sort of a little circle of people who had that. Got Bradley Scott from the Bye Bye Blackbirds is another old friend out of that same group, and so we all stayed in touch. We all Rex occasionally curated some compilations that involved several of us, and there was one compilation that he was doing and I was contributing, but I hadn't sent him an update in a while, so he's listing out everybody who's on the compilation, and he's saying, okay, yeah, well, this guy's got a demo done, but he's and he comes down to me, Dolph Chaney, Status Unknown, which I took as a dare, so I wrote a song called Status Unknown that went on to that compilation, and then that is now Status Unknown is now the opening track on This Is Dolph Chaney.
Nice.
In a new, brand new Bertlingized arrangement that's super cool. So it's all comes back around. But yeah, Rex and I over the internet saw each other through some tough personal changes and like relationships falling apart and coming back together and all kinds of life up and downs, and we'd always send each other whatever songs we were working on and just kept in touch. And I was finally ready to let a label try to do something. I'd never been on one before. I'd never been asked. Wasn't taking anyone
never
away.
Asked either. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just wasn't. That's not the level of engagement with any kind of scene or publicity that I was at all. Especially as I said, not playing out a great deal. Just steadily every year or two, collecting enough songs to put out on my website and say, you could have this if you want. And, 10, 15 people might do that. And that'd be about the end of it till next time. But he believed, and I, at the same time, I was already excited because the Armoires was such a big change for him and such a boost for him and his songwriting, and having Christina as a writing partner and a singing partner was boosting him and bringing him to new levels, even though some of the songs on the Armoires records in some form I've known for 10, 15 years or more.
Right.
Satellite Business on Zibaldone, for example, I heard that song I think in 2007, I want to say. I might be wrong, but and I've always loved it, and so just watch that build up around him and getting to know about Christina and Larissa's contribution, more about that. And then suddenly they're doing a concert series. It's great, good for them, and then there's a little radio show that they're doing on Woody Radio for a little while. Okay, cool, very cool. And then when that started to incorporate as a label, it's like, oh man, this just keeps on building, and they're making great records on their own. They're nourishing other talent, and everything just seems to be blossoming. And so as I saw the songs for Rebuilding Permit coming together, and I'm like, I'm going to kick myself if I don't see what he thinks about working together on something. And I can trust him, and I can, thereby trust Big Stir overall as a collective. So let's see what they say, see if they see what they think about working together on something. And so I started I pitched them the single "It's Okay," the opener on Rebuilding Permit, as an entry in the Big Stir single series, and Rex said, "Yep, let's do that." I knew it would play a little bit more to the pop fan than some of the things that I do. It's pretty big, bright melody for something that's got its melancholy side as well, and so it worked. People really responded well to it, and so when I finished the record, I just said, I would love it to come out as a Big Stir record, and we agreed on the terms very quickly. So they're lovely to work with. They're friends, family,
Well, that's just it. I've met a few different folks from labels, and some are not good people. And I can say that with full confidence that Rex and Christina seem like aces, and Wally from The Beautiful Music is perfect too. Those guys are just awesome, and they do, in my opinion, they do this shit for the right reason. And like, there's some fucking snakes in the grass out there for sure. So I think that you made the right choice, big time.
Yeah, there was really nobody. They were the first I talked to, and nobody else would have known who the hell I was. So it was not difficult. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of others I'd count in that kind of company. I mean, Keith Klingensmith at Future Man is certainly one, and Alan Petchy at Spider Pop, and
see, those are two I've heard of through Rex and Christina.
They're so good, and there are a lot of other folks I know by reputation that I haven't gotten to meet as of yet. But you kind of have to be in this stuff for the right reasons. I mean, what are you doing if you're, I don't know, if you're messing around with grown folks's deferred dreams at this stage, which is most of us artists in this category. What, come on, it's not even a profitable kind of monster to be.
That's just it.
Don't
well, that's just
go pick some other racket that
I've heard horror stories about some of these labels. Like, bands will tell me, like, oh, my fucking, these guys say that if I want more Spotify followers, I pay them money. It's like, well, you're the fucking label. Should you not be paying that for your artist that's on your label? Or if they want to get on a certain festival, like, the label says, oh, I'll get on that festival for X amount of dollars. It's like, but you're the label. Should you not be doing that for them?
If
I don't know a lot about labels, but I'm pretty sure that a label that's worth their salt would say, yo, I'm going to try to do this for you, but because you're my fucking client and you're on my label and this and that. Like, I know there's really, and this is no offense, but there's no need for that kind of bullshit label anymore. There's good labels like Big Stir, Beautiful Music, obviously, the guys you mentioned for sure. Those are the good ones. But there's not a lot of money to be made doing this anyways from the get-go. Right. So why would you want to have to keep fucking throwing gas on the fire to keep, it's like, what are you doing for the artist though?
Yeah,
like Rex and Christina are putting the stuff up for, it's like, well, they're, but like, why are you trying to screw people over? Why don't you just, why don't you say, here's some music that I really fucking believe in. Like, I believe in Dolph Chaney, so I'm going to fucking put it up and see what I can do. We'll figure it out. We'll split whatever it costs, this and that. That's fine. But we'll push it out there, but not like, pay me like, what if Rex came up to you with his slicked back hair and a bunch of cocaine on his face? Give me like 10 grand to be on my label. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. Like, that's not the way
it's it's not 1976.
It's not 76.
And it's not, I think I read too many, probably read too many horror stories growing up, and it backed me off of pushing as hard as I might have when I was younger. But I wouldn't have been, I'm ready now, so it all happens at the time it's supposed to happen, I suppose. But yeah, there are still there's still predators to be had at every level, and I guess if I understood it, then I probably would have tried to. I've been the sort of person to try to be that, and it's
Wow. Yeah.
just fortunate. They're doing it because they're fans of the music. They want to see
That's
it
right.
flourish, and they want to nourish these connections between artists as well.
Which is amazing.
It's so great to be part of. And I mean, from a personal standpoint, again, like only a dozen people in the world knew these songs, and I've been writing them since I was 14. And that's fine, and I treasure those dozen people, and I like the work that I did. But at a certain point, music needs an audience, and in order to continue to have energy to invest in it, even if it's not money, even if it's not having to fork out, $1 million to make Tusk, you need to know that the songs are going to find a home with people who care about them on the other end of the speaker,
Right.
in order to kind of maintain something, no matter how for the art of it one might be. You still do want to have a beholder, and they're serving all of that by being decent people to the artists, by being decent people to the broadcasters,
Yes.
by not charging an arm and a leg to the fan, by engaging on social media in a really fun way that isn't fakey, that's
right.
that's true to their goofy, witty, upbeat spirit. And it's not for everybody, but it's those for whom it's the match. It's just bringing a lot of happiness to a world that needs it. So
that's right. That's beautiful. Absolutely. 100%.
I'm happy to be one little Midwestern part of it. And meanwhile, I've met people that I didn't know even close by.
Yeah.
So like the band Athenor,
Okay.
kind of a institution going back to the 70s as a duo. But I've gotten a lot of opportunities to interact with their guitarist and co-founder Rick Vittinson, and Athenor has done some things for like Big Stir's holiday singles. We're all on the Yuletide Wave compilation together.
Best fucking album of all time.
So fun,
Dude,
right?
That's such a good album.
And it's not easy to make a actually pleasurable to listen
That's
to.
what I'm saying. It's not easy to make a good Christmas album that people want to listen to, but you guys did it. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, cheers. It's so great and so reflective of like so many different artists' input, but still kind of unified in this.
That's right.
In this thing. So those guys are around, and just a couple of states over is Librarians with Hickeys.
Okay, yeah.
Over in Ohio, and their singer Ray Carmen has some Chicago roots, and up in Minneapolis there's Drew Forsberg of the Persian Leaps, who's awesome. And so there's even with Big Stir being California based, there's a little Midwest coalition of us.
Yeah.
Nick Bertling is in Lafayette, Indiana. The Future Man guys are all sort of Michigan-y, Detroit, Ann Arbor, like the Hangabouts are in that area. So that's fun too, right? Like these are all people I did not know 18 months ago when I asked Rex and Christina about it, putting out It's Okay. And maybe I'll get to actually wave at them in person someday.
Would that be something, eh?
Wouldn't it be amazing to, even with a mask on, it'd be
Yeah.
such a treat.
Be crazy. Holy shit. Well, if they keep going the way they're going, I don't know. It's just, I believe a lot in karma and doing the right thing and stuff like that, and I feel like they're on the right path and they're gonna get back what they put out. So hopefully,
Yeah,
they deserve it. I know they work hard.
They work hard, but they love it. You know, they, yeah, it's just been a lot of joy. I think a lot of these guys are music teachers or other kinds of teachers in their life, which is really, really beautiful and fitting, you know, because it's all still trying to pass.
Didn't they all? Doesn't I know Blake does, and Rex and Christina do as well.
And they do. Michael Simmons does. John Ashfield of the Bobbleheads, who's pops in on some of our compilations, but they work independently, like they have their own label. They're tremendous, you know, awesome guys. And John's a teacher as well. Yeah, it's funny for me. Hickey or no, I'm actually trained as a librarian. My day job is in software for libraries. So, you know, what they use to catalog and what they use to check out. Like I work for a company that does that stuff. So it's corporate, but it's also education. And so I think we all kind of come at that with a little bit of the do-gooder thing of trying to help people find what's off the beaten path and what's maybe a little smarter than the average pablum, and you know, open an eye to something that they wouldn't have otherwise seen.
100%.
But have fun doing it. You know, it's not medicine.
That's right. It's not medicine. It can be fun. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just it. Like when I first got the music sent here, I was like, holy fuck! Like, why have I not been listening to stuff like this? It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And it's so, like, the talent is insane.
It's nuts.
Across the board.
Across the board. I'm still constantly, whether it's through them or through shows like yours or shows that are on tons of internet radio that have been so supportive to us. Like the labels give out to them and they give back to us by they'll find somebody we couldn't have ever, any of us ever heard without them,
right,
yourself included. And now we have a new thing to go chase down and see what else this band has put out that they might want to be simpatico, just want to hang, like
that's
just
right.
Say, hey, I know you make rad music. Let's talk about it. So that's just, you don't, you know, you think those days are beyond you at a certain point, especially at the age bracket we're at. You feel like, nobody, you know, everybody's too into their own stuff and nobody's gonna be that open-hearted about it, but they are, you know.
They're out there, man. You just gotta find them, for sure. For sure.
That's what it's like, you know. It's it's beautiful, and I think there's just more coming. And in my case, I think I'm excited for the next. I would already be excited about 2021 because it's not 2020, but all the more so because I have something new to build on. I have a lot of relationships to build on out of this music, and you know, let's see where else it goes. And to have these, I'm really excited to hear songs that I've lived with since I was 18 or 25 or 30.
Get them out.
Yeah, what, you know, what do people think? You know, what is the reaction like I imagined it back then? Is it different? Do people hear something different in it than what I dreamed of? I'm excited for all of that. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait. You know, I know some other things that are coming in the next year from some of these same artists, whether they put off their 2020 plans in some cases or got inspired to do some stuff that is about to be finished. And man, it's going to be good. And I think there's going to be a lot of energy put back into, even if we're not back in rooms right away, I think people are going to be ready for maybe a little celebrated summer, as somebody put it in 21.
Yeah, I hope so. Here's hoping.
Yeah, man.
Here's hoping. Well, when you drop that album, you come back and talk to me about it.
I would be thrilled to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you want to hear this single as a preview? Okay.
Yes, play it. For the love of God.
Let me just get the devices working.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. All right. Turn on the reverb.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is called Now I Am a Man.
Wow, dude. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
That's sick. Thank you. Hey, hell yeah. Dolph Chaney. Fuck's sakes. That's good. That's real good.
Yeah. So on the 22nd of January, that's going to be fun. in particular as a single because the B-side of it is going to be the old recording, which I did in 2008. Sorry, I got to turn off the reverb because it's obnoxious. So the 2008 version of that song will be on the B-side, and the new one, again with Lindsay Murray singing with me, will be the A. And so that'll be fun to have back to back, kind of to compare the song as it grew up a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. 100%. That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks.
I know Rex and Christina will send it to me. Right? They better, Rex,
yeah.
Christina.
No, I mean it's they just got to finish making it. I mean, they've I think by now the cake is probably baked and they got to put the icing on the CDs or however it works.
However it works, I think. Yeah.
I'm just a caveman. I don't.
They put CDs in the oven and they cook it. It's fun. Yeah.
Bake it up. It's love. And short of that, the other big thing I've spent most of the year doing is live Facebook live webcasts from this very room. Most Monday nights. I'm taking a holiday break from it, but I'll be back in January. I'll announce on socials when I'll do the next one, and that's hosted by Woody Radio, another fine Canadian outfit. And they've been great. They gave me a platform to do those shows, and have been super supportive all year long. So. And those can all be watched back, by the way, if any, there's they have a special separate site that's woodyradioblog.com, and if you search for my name or for videos, they're all linked there. So there's hours and hours of me doing my songs and silly old covers.
Awesome.
So it's I'll be back to that grind soon as well, as if it's a grind. It's a whole lot of fun. Yeah, because that's been sharpening me up for the eventual return of real in-person sweaty room business.
Yeah. Sweaty room business. Yeah.
I have to do all my own sweating, but soon hopefully we'll be
unbelievable
together. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Onward and upward.
Onward and upward. Fucking rights, dude. Fucking rights.
Yeah, man.
Well, man, it was an absolute pleasure getting to meet you. Look forward to talking to you next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care. Be safe. Happy whatever you celebrate and enjoy.
Yeah.
Get out of this damn year.
That's it. Happy. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. That's it.
Get the fuck out of here. Kick it in the butt and get on.
Just get on with it. Yeah. For sure. Well, good for you. Stay in touch. I loved it. We'll talk to you soon, Dolph.
This was fun. Thanks, Joe.
Anytime, buddy. All right, we'll talk to you. I'm gonna do a fucking super show. I'll get you, Rex, Christina, and Blake Jones on the same fucking thing. I'll do it.
Love it.
I'll make it happen.
February. I would love that. Yeah, man. Let's do it.
What day is your album out again?
20th.
February 20th.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering. No reason.
Yeah, no, I'm just fine. Whatever.
It's probably not gonna. Yeah, I'll try. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Book it. I don't have anything else going on that day.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah, I'm releasing an album. It's fine.
We'll have an album release party right here.
I'd love to. I would. Nothing would make me happier.
February 20th. Okay, I'll see what I can do, buddy.
All
right, man. I'll talk to you later.
That it? Anything else we need to solve? I think we're good.
I think we got most of it for now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure something will come up and we'll have to get back together again.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I'm here. Where am I going?
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. All right, brother. You have happy holidays. I'm going to look up
Take care of yourself.
Woody Radio blog. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Take care.